times, Tom. So just enjoy it. Let's kick off split.
I'm pretty sure it's still going to be in for the next couple.
I know, Tom, and I'm going to savor every damn moment of it, okay? I can't believe they've taken it from us.
Let's break a record. Let's get some OTs going. Like I want to cast as many rounds.
Calm down. All right.
As many rounds of split as I can.
You can chill out a little bit here, Tom. All right, let's say goodbye split. I'll see you later.
Let's make 50 rounds happen. I'm ready. No, I'm really excited for this one. We've seen the switch up in composition, something that FPX are the masters of. Obviously, a little bit more in terms of the switch up in information as well. But also, I think a lot of that could just be down to kicking things off on that attacking side. Angel, well, the classic mid play is already going to grant them that extra little bit of space. And, well, the player that's gone down is definitely a problem as it's Soulcast.
Oh, the silent assassin of Angel able to take that opening, the pistol coming into play, and now we move into heaven late. Just a little bit. That smoke going down will keep the players back. The wall certainly will. Nice kill for Yumpy. He's in a bit of trouble, but Scream's there to help. The nade kept the others back. Zipan's nade of his own, though, comes through big, taking down Scream. Yumpy's already fallen, and a chance now for FPX if they can cross this spike over. And the second nade spawned from the kill just moments ago will allow them to get up close. Oh, the boom bot smacked him! He stood right on the edge of a cage. That was a brave play when he heard the boom bot rolling.
Oh, Zipan is already on. It's always going to be an exciting series when you've got Zipan versus Scream playing on the Raze. Like, Zipan almost being the OG Raze god, and Scream someone who basically avoided it like the plague for the first couple of years of playing the game, and now has really brought it into his wheelhouse. The thing is, though, like, even just Zipan's utility in this round was spot on. Like, the initial nade forcing out Scream, the secondary one forcing them back, the boom bot doing so much damage. Just excellently well played. And now, well, first round on the board on that attack in half. And that's the thing. Like, going into this map, the attack side for FPX is always going to be something relatively important. I think they're also a team that, like, one of the only teams that I can think of that consistently was actually better on the attack, which, considering all the other teams within EMEA, they might be the only one that I think that's the case.
Yumpy is taking some risks here, man. This is not a conventional spot for, look, I'll say a Marshall in that spot. In general, a player in this round, you know, maybe you're a chamber. You want to get aggressive and make that play, but well, Yumpy's confidence was clear. There's one way he smoked it now, though, and played much more passive, and that has the rest of the team with no heaven control rotating all the way around. They've been sold this fake. They've canceled the stack on A. And now Navarra's going to have to hold it alone. Sadly not able to do so. And the pushed up Dreamass only has a shorty. Step close to him, though. Here's a chance if he can catch Angel. But sadly, Angel's gone running.
Yeah, and now at this range, what? Oh, never mind! Angel goes jumping back into him. Now, there's one of the players that only had a pistol. For now, it's not too much of a detriment. They've also walled off any way to split back through into heaven. And so this is just going to be three players all trying to get through one isolated angle. Like, the chances here for any real damage are pretty slim. Nade can do a little bit of extra damage, but ultimately not too much to write home about. And one of the things I really want to point out in this round, Mitch, you had two rifles, you had two players not really purchasing much, and one SMG. FPX are going to go into the next round, if it stays like this, with probably quite a hefty buy for a third round.
They've at least lost another, so a decent blow.
But still, pistols though. That's nothing. It's
the thing, right? Like, reinvestment into shields, stuff like that. It's not really a factor in a round like this. You want to be going in there and well, taking the investments out of their hands. And that hasn't come through. Now, nice convincing buy, very convincing potentially for them. You know what? For the likes of Angel, the way he likes to play this map, my man could even pull out a judge here and keep the economy really stacked up. I wouldn't be, you know, nothing would really surprise me with this man nowadays. Thankfully, we're back to more conventional play at this third round. It does see 4 rifles for FPX, though, which is, as we were saying, a rarity, but still economy to spare.
Yeah, and this is the thing. This still will class as a bonus, which seems mental when you look at it, but they can buy in the next round. That's sort of the value of what they were doing with only investing into a pistol on a couple of players. It has huge risks about it, because if you kill one of the rifle players, you might get a rifle on the other side, and Well, some of them are running with a pistol. Yumpy, that's just nasty. Angel, so well known for these sort of plays in towards mid that, oh, they're going to spam him.
For the round that's in it as well, you know, little do they know what was on the other side, but they've dropped the weapon. They'll be retrieved by Xiao potentially, and way too far away to even think about a res this early on. He's really been able to get involved in that action. Zulkas is going up. He's walked right into it. Zippin was ready on the other side. Using the one-way smoke against them. I love that idea.
You got the setup here from Navira. This should at least give a little bit of information over to Dreamas, who still has his aftershock. This will be enough to likely slow down anything else as they look to split through. But in fact, they've almost lost that control instead. Same wall through. Nade going to force Navira back. It's almost like a push and pull at the moment. But they still haven't managed to clear any of these players.
There's the pop flash, but there's no one to follow up on it. Navira still caught in that elbow, and he'll be dropped. An attempt from Dreamus and Screen to retake space, and they are shut down as well. And Yumpy's silent flank.
Can we bring Yumpy's cam back up, please? He's looking very cute today. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like in the hairband.
I am. I'm very much enjoying the hairband.
I'm right there with him. I literally ordered one yesterday. I got it. Like, it just goes down on your face too much when you're gaming. You gotta slick it back.
Yeah, you know, we're all in the same boat here.
Yeah, Tom, you must have a few lying around the place for the days when your hair's not as well kept.
Yeah, of course.
So I know you put a. I know your routine is quite extensive, but if you ever did skip it, you probably whip out the hairband.
Well, 3-0 though. That almost false bonus round coming out from FPX has worked wonders. Zipan still looking so strong in those entries as well as a terrifying prospect. There was a reason that I think everybody was hoping that he'd be back on that raise more often, because the value this man can bring, well, it's off the charts. And thus far, we haven't really seen the same from the other side just yet. Very heavy mid presence, though, from Liquid. Always trying to put the pressure on, see if anybody's going in that direction. But maybe for the first time in history, there's nobody there up until Zipan peeks, and he's caught through the wall. And Yumpy's found Saigetsu as well.
Well, these players on the cross now caught by the grab. Well, there's the nade on the back of it. Huge damage done. FPX crumbling on the way out. They've not got a kill yet, Tom. Just pistols. And Xiao now has to take them all down. A firing squad swarming in on him from absolutely every direction. No angle is safe. Nowhere is clear. And, well, just one player dropped from FPX after an incredibly impressive third round. Tom, all that hard work has almost been undone.
It's the most Liquid round I've ever seen in my life.
It absolutely is.
The first kill as well from Soulcast was utterly ridiculous. Like, he shoots him just straight through the wall, a headshot as well. Manages to come out with 3 kills. Those are the only 3 kills he's got, by the way. Just all with the pistol. And that's the thing. If you're a Liquid fan, you got to hope this is what puts the wind in their sails, because there's still going to be a buy on the other side. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's the benefit. They had a free buy in their back pocket, ready and waiting for when things went wrong. It just went a little bit sooner than we thought, I guess.
One-way smoke outside B again. We're going to see that coming through. Majority of rounds from both of these teams, I think. Yumpy's not going to push up on it, though, and hold the control. It looks like they're a little bit worried that this B main's already been taken, but FPX are entirely moving around mid. Just carving out this little bit of map control. This is very central to Angel's perspective on how to play this map. It's very rare to see them put all resources in one direction. They'll want to take vents. Want to take heaven. And the key thing there being a lack of overcommitment. They don't swing into that judge just yet, but eventually they're coming back this way. They're looking to make their way into the side. And well, this is where the judge gets big value, huge damage. The blast pack won't finish him off, but the showstopper should keep them back. Angel goes running into him.
Hey, it does actually manage to at least trade him out. That's the position cleared and information of where the remainder are actually going to be. It's a swing out, and both Artist and Xiao find kills. They've got Res available as well. And just moments ago, it looked like Liquid had this round in the bag, and now they're in a 2v4.
It just shows the brain on Angel. He had to go forward there. He had to take that fight because you can't just allow this player to run down the clock with the showstopper and then late play the control, whatever utility they've got left. You just can't. He runs in, he does what needs to be done, opens up the room, Xiao getting a kill, Rez is online. They have got this site secured. I mean, just off the manpower alone, they should be able to close this one out. Plus, I mean, he's still going to heal on Xiao. Artist can get right back up and healthy. Surprised he hasn't already. Oh, there you go. He is now back up to 100 HP. You can see just how impossible this would be for Team Liquid. They're forced to call this save, and we have now had a number of rounds, Tom, already that we just couldn't have seen the outcome. You would have hard bet the other way, but these teams already performing the upsets, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, again, though, the 4 rounds already on that attacking side. As said, I have a lot of confidence in FPX's attack, but I fear that there might be some people like, oh, does that mean he has no faith in their defense? No, that's not true either. I think the FPX are just solid at this map in general. Definitely didn't have the best performance versus the likes of Ascend, but then you have to look at some of the matches that have been coming through from Liquid on the other side, scraping through their victory of Na'Vi, getting banged out by Guild, and then beating BBL and Big. It's like I'm still not convinced on this map for them just yet, although they themselves also have a pretty solid attack.
Team Liquid calling the timeout, and yeah, I guess I'd feel about like that. 4-1 down defensive side. It's not a pretty look. Certainly some work to be done. And coming into this round, it's going to be putting all the cash on the table, spending all the credits. The operator out on Yumpy. You know, this guy, he came into the game and he was opping on a Killjoy. I believe it was Eccles, right? Who used to come in with the op on the Omen. So we've gone a little bit full circle with that replacement, and I'll see what he's able to bring to the table here. A little bit of a downside, I guess, is he's on light shields, but just thinking that it's Yumpy, I feel like that won't really matter. Also, he's on the B side, and as you can see, FPX want to take A. And one of the rounds where they are going to go a little bit more direct, and that means a fast play out of Zipan. He's taking Heaven right off the bat.
Yeah, and this is something that, again, FPX love to do. You've taken a pause, you've taken a moment while they get right back into your face. Whatever your plan was has quickly gone out of the window. It's looking like a similar execution. We've seen them isolate and wall off so that nobody can make it through in towards Heaven. And because of that, it leaves the players within the site incredibly isolated. In fact, it almost looks like a full retake, which, considering there's currently no ults online and Scream, is for ruined.
Oh yeah, he's being dropped. Going on the side for Team Liquid on the way back through, and it doesn't help they're all coming from the same angle in through spawn. They have in control. They're trying to fake out that there's no one here, that they're not going in for it. You're going to have the utility pop down from Sulcus. He's going to try to help with the stars. All right, that's a peek out of Yumpy. All right. Xiao's got a little bit of assistance for Angel in hand, but Angel didn't want it. He just kept on going until the bullets ran dry, and then finally he was able to give it a kill over to his teammate, let one of his buddies close it out. Sulcus runs.
I think they know where he is.
I reckon they might have their suspicions, yeah. I think he's gotten away with it. Look, it's not the biggest of saves. I think they had a good bit of potential with leaving him behind, having him pop down the stars, play support, and then late push through Heaven when these players are trying to stop the spawn crunch. Problem was that there wasn't really a spawn crunch. It just got shut down immediately.
I think the other thing as well is, like, there's many teams where I feel like you could play retake against. I would never feel comfortable with FPX because I feel like they're so solid and regimented, and they're not going to give you those easy fights. Like, you sort of said it yourself. It's like Angel had the support of Xiao but didn't need it, and that's something I feel like is so valuable for a squad. Is you have these backup plans, and sometimes you just have the individual brilliance to get it over the line, and if you don't, that backup plan is still there. And that's the terrifying prospect right now, is if you're going to give them the site for free, you need to be better than them in the retake, or maybe you need to have an ultimate online. They had neither.
Great nade. Damage has been done, some shields have been stripped, but that could have been a whole lot more dangerous for FPX. They had a player caught in the grab well and one stuck in the corner. Team Liquid don't see the value for their nade and their grav well just yet. Ration moving up through B main. Pistols now have a much more favorable fight on their hands. You can see Xiao holding it though. Oh, he's left. He's moving away. So this timing is perfect for Liquid if they keep the push going, but they have no way to know that.
It looks like the wrap back around will come into this fight. Yumpy taking contact, but this is almost just the bait play. An attempt to try and almost make them forget that Scream is there. Already though, swing through. Easy kill of the first. Scream can only get one, and then they shut down the remaining peekers as well.
The control they had, the bait setup they had, very, very solid setup from FPX, and I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier, Tom, about not feeling comfortable in a retake environment against this team. They're so well regimented. And go in there, 2 players post in B main, and the maximum that those players are able to walk out with is 1. Now they're getting a couple more, though.
They have. Yeah, it seems like maybe a slight overpeak in this round at least. Maybe a bit cocky versus the pistols, but I guess they'll rectify it in the end. And the thing is, FPX, they've got so much money in the bank right now that, okay, it's probably more than you would have wanted to give away, but it really doesn't matter that much. 6-1 up for FPX on this attacking side of their own map choice. Liquid looking a little bit worse for wear, and that's the thing. We haven't seen the star performers, but I also don't think they've been given much of a chance. Like Zipan's off to a crazy strong start. As we've said, for the last 2 years, he's always been one of the best Rays within the region. They haven't really been able to stop him thus far, and yeah, playing retake hasn't worked either. There needs to be some more depth to the plan. Now, they could do it in this round, Mitch, just because there's that combo of the Cosmic Divide and Rolling Thunder. I feel like that's such a strong retake combination that I wouldn't mind it so much, but it seems like Liquid have other ideas.
Oh, they certainly do. Don't they always? FPX again, though, carving out mid. Moving into vents. Not a strange place to see Angel stepping into. And the handy thing about this KO now, they've cleared up into heaven. Oh, that's so good. So they wait, knowing either there's a player like standing on the corner, or these guys are going to go back into retake the control after the knife. But now down below, Yumpy's able to grab nothing. Damage.
Nothing.
I thought he had a kill. I could have sworn it, but all it was a little tickle up, and they've still got the site for free.
This is where that retake that I mentioned will almost have to come through. Boombot is going to give the info the artist is close. It seems like they were all going to go up, destroy the wall, and almost just try and ult their way back through. At least it seems it. They peak early, and in fact, they're just swinging out one by one, almost giving these free fights to FPX. Just going to try and hold off some of the angles, but it seemed like they had no intention of using any of their ultimates to win this round. And whilst I get to was the final knife in the back, I genuinely don't know what the plan was there from Liquid.
It definitely felt a little bit disjointed. From FPX, nicely dealt with. Again, the punishments have been on point time after time. And with 7-1 on the board, Tom, attack side is split as well. This is just something else. We have got to see something change on Team Liquid's side. We've had a pause earlier on. Not much has been remedied there. Oh, certainly concerning. At least, as you said, they do have that ult combo to work with, but, well, 7-1, Tom. We need to really hope for something special.
Yumpy. Definitely a man who can bring that through, but they've definitely spotted him early. He's got a firing squad up above to almost try and section things off and will reclaim some positioning in towards the site. The thing is, though, for FPX, they're more than comfortable to play things slow. They know that especially in a round like this, you're either going to walk into what will be a gamble stack, or there's going to have to be some level of aggression from Liquid. They can't play with this amount of information, at least not for the entirety of the round.
Little fake TP. You saw Yumpy was spinning around, thinking, where could he be? Where is he sneaking into? Oh, the nade is perfect. Good damage. Sugetsu not going to be pushing that way. Zipan down already on the site. This is a good hold from Team Liquid and a great start. But still, like when it comes into pound-for-pound battles, they're going to have a tough time beating out these rifles.
30 seconds left.
I saw him pull out the shadow step.
Yeah.
I'm like, where on earth is this man planning on going? There's no cover. There's absolutely none. This is just a free kill. Nobody watching from mid. They were all just keeping an eye on a different direction. And because of that, Yumpy gets isolated. Nice shots from Navira out, but this has come back into a 2 versus 2. Heal through. Res is available, but Navira with the fast swing. That might just be enough. You need Saigetsu to go for this plant. Now, there is going to be the trip, but it's been destroyed almost instantly, and Navira has won them the round just off that and that alone. Okay, Saigetsu's going to get the final kills just to make sure the round is closed, but Liquid, well, for the second time, it's just going to be the pistols.
Yeah, but Tom, a huge plant at the end as Saigetsu gets the neural theft.
Shut your mouth. There's going to be one guy in chat that thinks you're serious, and he's going to hate you
He's
forever.
got the extra orb. It's over now for Team Liquid. They didn't see that coming. No, yeah, this was very nicely handled. Like I said, the spike not being down at that point, with Angel pushed all the way through, that's a big disappointment, a big slip up over on the side of FPX. And then obviously they lose out the duels to the pistols. It's a Team Liquid round. We've already had one. Let's see if they can follow it up, though, if they can chain them together now with rifles in their hands.
Yeah, both their rounds have just been pistols. It was a Soulcast 3K, and then this one where they just managed to delay, and Navira hit some wonderful shots. But as you said, if they don't build anything off of this, it's all irrelevant. Like, the rifle rounds have just not been up to scratch. And again, it seems like they're going to attempt to play retake on the B side. The only man anywhere near the action is Soulcast. He can't go down. And that's happened a couple of times now where he's had a position where his ultimate's available, he has all the utility to delay, and then he goes down first, and everything falls apart.
It's not a ton of info to play with. Something. Maybe it looks like a fake Team Liquid. I saw Yumpy kept on moving towards A. The call was to stack up on the A site. They believed the late hit was on the way, but, well, it was not. Now B's being lost. The plan should come through pretty easily, and Saigetsu even wants to stick around mid, try to catch these players off on the way back through. He's going to do exactly that. Ignores the boombot in favor of taking some kills. We won't find them, so the one-to-one trade is there from the grave. Scream still have an impact. The rest of his team need to clutch this out, and they've got a late flank coming.
Shadows traveling.
Well divided.
Oh, here's the Cosmic Divide. It's going to isolate them from the spike, but as you said, that secondary flank could be everything. He's going to hear all the footsteps, give all the information that they're swinging into the site, and there is Artis just causing them problems. Navira left into a 1 versus 2. He's going to find out the info from the neural theft, but just look how passive these remaining players are. He almost needs to start tapping the spike. He almost needs to start making a move, and there's just no need for it. Xiao is so patient in his play, and FPX breaks straight back. Another attempt at a retake, Mitch, and another failure.
And that's it. That's where the problems come from. I can look at Team Liquid in a round where everybody goes out with sheriffs and hits headshots. But, you know, you're simply not going to do that every single round. There comes a point where in Team Liquid's history, they did do that every single round. But right now, FPX, they're bringing way too much to the table. They've got the caliber to take these fights. They've certainly got the tactical depth to beat this team in other departments as well. There is, I mean, this is a disaster. This should be a strong closeout for Team Liquid defensive side, and instead we are getting a pretty clear and thorough explanation of why FPX picked this map.
Well, they're back onto pistols, so percentage-wise, there is a much higher chance of Liquid getting something done in this round. Oh, both players forced to escape by Zipan. And again, the B site, at least from Heaven's side, looks incredibly open. Now, they are again trying to almost isolate B main. I don't mind the play, and it might give Soulcast at least a little bit of timing. The problem is, Angel just doesn't play with fear. He's just run straight into the site, TP'd across, he's cleared everything out, and I think the message has been relayed over to Saigetsu of, you're going to have players pushing you, and he's more than happy with that.
He's popping off. I like the little spray. He did like a little loop in the middle of the spray and got him with the last bullet of it. Gorgeous. Team Liquid on the way back through here. Pistols. Okay, not what I want to see. Artist pushing them. And now a stun nade. Oh, well, Zipan's managed to blast pack his way up top and avoid it. Still, you see the dangers there. A couple of points of over-aggression, of overconfidence, perhaps. But in the end, it's closed out nicely. And another 4 kills for Sugetsu, Tom. That ult is overpowered right now.
Round in the
He has
half.
got, wow, neural theft every round, it feels like. There's just no way to
Yeah.
lose. I think that pretty much explains the 9-2.
Yeah, oh, of course. Of course. Either way, moving swiftly away from that point. Yeah, just this time it doesn't get converted. They don't manage to get much over the line with the pistols, and they're going to go back in with a buy of their own. You've got the showstopper online for either side, but then a res, null command to even deny anything else, and yep, they've still got the neural theft. But the fact is, this has been utter domination so far, and Liquid have had next to nothing that convinces me they're going to be able to turn this back.
Shadows traveling.
I'm with you. I think I find it hard to see this attack side from Team Liquid being quite as convincing. And I say that because I don't know that there's many matchups that I would look at and say, yeah, I think this team's attack's going to be convincing. Xiao's got this on lock. He was holding it, but Yumpy's caught him, and that's the spike. A smoke
And
off.
Res is gone.
Paranoia. They've got control. This is horrendous for FPX. They're going to use up the showstopper to get back through. He's dodged it, but screen goes down in the end.
They both use showstopper, neither of them connected, and then Zipan just shoots Scream in the head. It's a double Rosa ult, which ends with the ults playing almost no part whatsoever. Neural theft utilized to give all of that info on the other side, and Angel is already looking to try and put pressure in onto Yumpy. They know where he is. The cage has at least made things a little bit more. They've naded right on top of him, though. That is such a perfect combination. Nothing Yumpy could have done.
He was blind.
Being blinded by the paranoia. Come on now, they get the afterplant open and ready.
Spike planted.
I think
Another
it's
tough
even
point.
I think it's even worse, Tom. I think he got blinded by the paranoia and then got flashed by Artis on the way back. So he literally couldn't even see the nade. He couldn't hear it. He was just kind of like, I think I'm walking into spawn, guys. And then he was just blown up. Like, unlucky. FPX. They've got the advantage. They've got the side, and Sugetsu in a nasty position. Some support here from Zipan. Might make a little bit of noise. Might just draw their eye over in this direction, or might have to trade. And he's got to go quick. There's Dreamass dropped. And left into a 1v2. Sulcus has practically no chance. He's got to go for it. It's the last round. The nade has even gone out. I think the time alone is going to stop this from being a possibility.
It's almost just stat padding at this point. Well, I don't even think your stats are affected by dying to the spike, so it doesn't even matter. It could have got up with it in the end, but yeah, 10-2. Utter domination. I think just a beautiful display from FPX. Every member of their team, again, performing to a high standard individually, but also just in terms of their team play. Like, we even just see it in the last round with how the nades are used. It's... Oh, God. Oh, no. Maybe need a showstopper buff.
I'd love to see that from Scream's perspective, because in his movement there, I don't know if you want to rerun the replay one more time, because I feel like I want to watch what Scream did. I feel like he might not have realized he was behind him for a second. Might have taken just that, because obviously he's fired the showstopper. He could have then jetted back to the other side, because he was almost looking around like, wait, where did that guy go? And then got shot in the head by him.
Oh, to say this pistol is paramount to Liquid having any success on this map would be an understatement. They need it just to have any shred of hope. And the thing is as well, you've now got the Sage being brought back in, which has so much delay power when it comes... Well, as you can see, they've just walled off B completely. And then you've also got Artis being able to be that little bit cheekier with some of his aggressive plays. So it'd be intriguing to see how this one works. Now, Yumpy's managed to gain quite a lot of ground here. Both him and Scream investing into the Sheriff's almost just going to try and out-aim their opponents in this round, but ultimately, they're almost hoping someone gives them some space, and well, it seems like they did, but Yumpy's given the game away.
He has, but his teammates are able to clean up Angel. They had Heaven, and they had to walk back out, so there was nowhere for him to go. They couldn't at least take a few pot shots at him. Now the plan comes in, the site's secured, and Team Liquid have a good chance to close this round out. FPX retake, flash in the hands of Artis, nade still for Zipan. Could be a little bit dangerous in a round like this. Look at their positions though, Tom. This is crazy. They're playing for a ramp exec, 3 players to crunch in and take them. They've already lost Yompi.
I think Xiao's trying to bait them almost just by hiding in the corner. Artist has managed to clear one out on the site. Scream, though, is going to isolate 2. A couple of big frags just to give them an opportunity here while the pistol is taken home by Team Liquid. That tiny light at the end of the tunnel has been lit, but still a very, very long way to go.
Yeah, you can't even see it at this point. It's
more of a candle rather than a train.
Yeah, a little candle. The other side of a transatlantic tunnel. I think this is it's a tough one. FPX will come in here and defensive side with pistols. Hell, that's all we saw work for Team Liquid. So I'm not going to come in here and tell you, well, this is Team Liquid's round easy. Scream's gone dashing on into a stun. Goes the boom bot, but he'll get his orb for his troubles.
Oh, I thought for a second Saigetsu might actually be able to get something done. His aim has been crisp as ever. But no, Liquid have done well. They've isolated the jewels. They've made it so that nobody can really get overly aggressive here and just taking their time not to almost just run into that stacked up site, which currently doesn't exist, but of course they don't know that. Instead, they're going to make their way in towards Xiao, and while a lone sheriff, no utility to be had, and no support.
And well, if ever there was a time for the return of the Xiao show, here it is. And well, that one's being cancelled before the pilot's even gone on air. That artist dropped right away. Zipan left to do it all, and that was a couple of guys for him to go and kill. Lots of Spectres in play here. He drops anybody, it is instantly going to be like a negative for the next round, but that player will still come in with a pistol dropped from a teammate or something like that. So it wouldn't have had economic repercussions, really, but Team Liquid have gotten out of it flawlessly. It literally could not be better for this team. 1 away from a showstopper as well on Scream, so this could be a big difference maker of a round.
1 second, people.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they play this, because I think fighting for an orb, when you, like, ultimately they haven't done, like, what we saw from FPX, where they managed to come into their bonus with a load of rifles. They sort of played it safer, if anything, with everybody having a gun. But that also has the detriment of almost having a pure bonus. So the only real thing that they can have to pad this bonus is getting the showstopper.
Well, Scream is trying to just kill people for it. Who needs an ult orb? Not going to risk trying to pick it up there as well. You can see why. Utility coming his way. There were sprays constantly. They know on the FPX side that there's a good chance Team Liquid are going to want an orb. There's a good chance they're going to want a showstopper. Oh my god! Even seeing him just edge towards the corner. He's like, just a little more, and bop, gets him right away.
And FPX, their adaptation is to almost try and defend this gun. You do not want this falling into enemy hands. The swing back, though, and Navir is now landing another. While we spoke about how effective their almost half buys or pistol rounds could be, I guess the bonus almost works in their favor then, because they've already managed to find a couple of openers, make it a third, almost convincing that this will be a flawless. And there you go. Not a player dropped, barely any damage taken at all. And well, if you're ever going to believe the Liquid could bring this back, that round might be the one that changes your mind.
Yeah, that might actually convince you with a showstopper to work with now. No money for FPX. They're playing in here on, you know, there's no safety net. There's nothing for them. They haven't got ultis, even close to being online. They haven't got like a hero rifle to invest into or something nasty. I mean, they rely on a couple of the shotguns, maybe the Liquid Sheriff round to come through. Outside of that, though, it's going to be tough. And after the big lead built up, the last thing you want is to give Team Liquid that opening right back into the game. Because, Tom, it's not just about the rounds. It's about the economy as well. Team Liquid have been getting away with like flawless rounds. They come into this 3 rifles, a Guardian, and a Spectre against an Eco. And they essentially have max money coming out of this.
They picked all of those guns up as well. Because
Yes,
this is not a team that's invested, so
that's why they've got
they're in
that much
an
money.
incredible spot. Yeah. Let's see if there's any magic in the FPX side when it comes to these pistol rounds. Again, They're going to try and take some space. Paranoia already popped, and a lot of these defensive rounds have revolved around Angel being an anchor. We saw it in one of the earlier rounds in the A site, in the pistol, and now, well, he's being pressured alone. No real rotation other than Xiao, and well, it's a little bit late.
That reveal, the spray right after, but they'll get the space for free and the plant right there. I almost wonder if, like, these guys are facing, seeing that Scream is there, and kind of just tempting him, like, hey, there's two of us here. The showstopper would kill us both. Oh my god, they've gotten 2 kills. They might have had a chance if they got those rifles, managed to retrieve them, but luckily they seem to be safely guarded by the rest of Team Liquid. Still though, with the amount of economy in play, every little helps in terms of just chipping away at those credits and making them a little bit poorer. But in the end, just 2 kills.
Yeah, and then in that world, it's almost irrelevant because, as we've sort of mentioned, the credits are off the charts for the majority of players. 10-6, difference now down to just 4. And honestly, with the last few rounds, I am starting to build up a little bit of faith in this Team Liquid side. Scream looking good, Navira alongside him. Okay, we've still got some quieter performances thus far, but I also think that I don't really like the gambles based around Angel. I said that's now 2 rounds where he's basically had to solo hold a site as Omen. Once your paranoia is gone, you're relying on one ways, and Liquid have shown that they are more than willing to play through them.
Cage triggered.
You know, it's strange looking at a lot of these rounds, a lot of these fights for Liquid. They're individual, they're direct. Oh, he's being caught.
Oh, he got him anyway.
Sakatsu hasn't even been taken down. A good nade. The fragment slowing them, but Artist needs to get out of there. Flashes pop. They're going to start spamming, spraying, and taking him down. 3 versus 4, and Team Liquid have got the site. Another chance to get a plant down, and another man advantage extended in their direction. This is unbelievable. The attack side's supposed to be the hardest on this map, but, well, Team Liquid seem to be making an easy time of it so far, Tom.
Yeah, impressive entries once again, and well, I feel like on the FPX side, it's heroes. Right? Someone trying to swing out, someone trying to take a fight individually, and just handing away 1v1 duels to Team Liquid, which is a team you never want to try and do that against. Angel needs a double here, and while he gets absolutely nothing, Scream has been on point over the last couple of rounds, and Xiao needed to do exactly the same. 3 rounds now, the difference, and well, this Team Liquid attack is looking strong.
Oh, it definitely is. It's got no shortage of financial backing. It's had success almost every time, not relying on something gimmicky. I mean, this here is ridiculous. From Sagetsu's perspective, I see it. Guy's up in the air. He's being slung back and forth all around the site. It's hard to hit. But that showstopper reaction from Scream, dead on. FPX calling a timeout. I didn't think we would see them in a position where it would even remotely make sense to call a timeout after that first half. But they are now genuinely under pressure, backed into a corner. And with an eco coming up, Tom, there's basically 1 buy round between Team Liquid and equalizing, which is insane.
Yeah, well, it was 10-2 half. Like, this is just ridiculous. Like, if they didn't win the pistol, this game was already over. And now, as said, they're looking like the far better squad in this second half. Like, I've not really seen much from FPX. Again, a few players being isolated. And that's the thing. I feel like at the moment their defense, as most are very reliant on your anchor players to actually stay alive. That hasn't been happening. Like, Sagetsu, okay, sure, he's a little bit unlucky that it's a blind showstopper through, but he was also standing in probably the most obvious spot to blind showstopper. So it's sort of like, I don't know what you expected. And then you even see Zipan, his teammates are nowhere near, wide swinging to try and find something. Okay, you've been brilliant so far. I can understand having the confidence to do that, but in that scenario, it wasn't worth it.
No, not at all. Yeah, as you said, though, I can understand where those thoughts come from. Yumpy, the timing almost cost him his life. He'd cleared it just moments ago. When he goes out to re-peek it, 2 sheriffs waiting down below. Luckily, though, he gets out with his life. Last back here clearing out a bit more space. FPX want to crunch them on their way through heaven. Team Liquid are certainly starting to feel it out. You know, that nade coming back in the other direction, it almost tells you like they're not afraid of you coming that direction. They almost they're chucking it in. They're letting you know where they are. That's normally not what they're doing when they're like hiding it on the site, right? Baiting you, using a nade, something like that. They decide to move completely to the other side, to give up this control and hope that someone goes and tries to retake space after,
Look at this
pushes
rotation.
up. They can kill them on mid, but that's not going to happen. Instead, FPX, like you said, Tom, they've rotated
30
through
seconds
spawn
left.
all the way around to A.
Yeah, they've got such a good read here. If they stick this out, they might actually be able to steal this round away. A late slow. Okay, sure, you're going to have utility forcing them back, but they need to try and push through. Basically, everything that's there for FPX. Screen is going to open up onto one, and Zipan's not going to connect this shot. It looked almost free, but there's still a multitude of FPX players here. They need to kill off the remainder, and by the looks of it, they might just do it. But the time, he has to go for this spawn. Another connected by Sugatsu. A chance in this 1 versus 2. He knows, or will know, where both of these players currently lie, but Yumpy is going to put him down before it gets too out of control.
That is absolutely unbelievable. The fight that they just put up on the back of a good read, sure, you're not going to have that stack every single time. You're not going to have pistols every single time either. Definitely a worrying one for Team Liquid, but at 10-8, confidence freshly instilled, and they're right back into this one. They're looking a little bit better. When it comes to buy rounds, they certainly have. That's what they're up against now. Jeez, this is the one to fight to equalize things. I didn't think it was possible for Liquid to even approach this point.
Wow. Xiao already going to be spotted early. Trying to get a little bit aggressive. Again, it's much more of a slow default round coming out of Liquid. You can see the spike down in the sewers, not wanting to get caught by any level of aggression. And although they've been hit by the 0 point, it's almost a little misleading. 3 players were in that B main position, but none of them still remain.
Yeah, moved completely around. That spike's going to be picked up by Liquid now and moved to the A side. It looks like they're going to wait out the wall and late push in, crunch from heaven as well, potentially. Yumpy doing an Angel cosplay to start with. They've got the control over vents. And it looked like we were about to have a recon ult gone through. But now Yumpy's trying to take some space, perhaps selling the fake a little bit more convincingly. Now, though, his utility is going to be cancelled out. I think, though, just because he's got that ult pull, that they're happy enough to assume that this is almost an easier ace night. But as they're realizing, Tom, with all this utility, no, there's actually still a bunch of FPX players here. And again, they started to rotate. Zipan is now on site to help out. Oh no, Angel's being caught TPing. That's not pretty. But Zipan's here to save the day. The double connected. Xiao for his own. And just 10 seconds left. They've got to deal with Zipan on the side, and they do.
Oh, it's the steps. The steps alone have already finished it. You can see Saigetsu straight away just goes to hide. That's all Artist really needed. It will be another round onto the board for FPX. And honestly, it might sound like the silliest thing in the world, but I feel like a lot of the plan there revolved around the From the Shadows going into the back of sight. So that impromptu, like, use of the null command, taking away his ult. You see Yumpy just go, and just instantly run down mid. Then they're delayed a little bit more by the utility, and I think just those few seconds actually made things very, very scrappy. And while FPX, when you have a stack up of players on a site, you don't really mind scrappy.
If that ult hadn't come through, there's no shot Zipan would have been there in the timing that he was to come out and take that double kill. It all came down to that, and you got to give huge props over to Artist for that round in general and for the calls that were made. 11-8, a crucial round for FPX. I mean, one already gone and one now up. A res and a showstopper to work with. They need to avoid Scream getting his. And you can see that they're ready on B main. There's Artist up close, wanting to try and take a little bit of a fight afterwards, or when he hears that orb be popped. Let's see how that one plays out. This could be what the round comes down to, this fight in B main.
Oh, they're going to clear that close angle. This knife actually give them a little bit of information. don't know if they actually managed to dodge it. Never mind. Dreamas is actually taking contact. Not the player I necessarily expected. Showstopper out. Will remove Scream. He's got his online now, but unfortunately he's not alive. Rolling Thunder is going to make things tough, though. A multitude of players were already within this site. Zipan hoping to slow them down, but instead there's a lurk from behind, but they expect it. Solcast and Yumpy, though, quickly coming back to leave it into a 2 versus 2. Time is a ticking, but they should have a plant.
Yep, Solcast is going to get that plant down. They get to reset a little bit, a moment of silence. The calm before the storm as Xiao and Sagetsu mount up to get back into this fight. Angel's rezzed, and Yumpy tries to punish, but gets caught. Solcast now has to go absolutely nuclear, and Angel shuts him down. A disaster for Team Liquid after an unbelievable comeback into this game. Their attack side has looked unstoppable, but FPX may just have found the solution. And even if they haven't, they just need to pull off one more round win out of the next 4 to close this map out.
Yeah, we're seeing the value of their ults. Rez used to sort of confirm, but also almost bait a player into the swing. I think the way that Solcast played that was actually very good. He had a star down to just try and drag the player back, but I think the timing may have just been a little off on the peak. And then you also had the showstopper from Zipan just to kick off the round, and then the prior round, the null command. I will say, Mitch, all of those are now gone, and none of them are close.
Yep, every little helps, but when those things are gone, it's going to be so much harder to connect the wins, the dubs, and to respond to some of these things that Team Liquid can throw out. I said last
Such
round.
a cool angle.
There you go, Cam destroyed. This showstopper from Scream. Gotta be careful with when you use it. Coming into this round, FPX, money's not in the best of spots. With 12 to 8, you can maybe force them on a lighter buy next round. Taking this one, it's a good time to try and pop this ult out. If they get into a little bit of a sticky situation. For now, though, this, again, slow mid control, watching for pushes, none of that comes through. FPX are playing a very slow game.
Here.
This time, Tom, on this A hit, they don't have ultimates, as you said. They also don't have the read. The rotate hasn't come through this time around. I thought just as I said that, I saw Zipan run down the steps.
30 seconds left.
Oh, the time is running out. Still too slow. Xiao started to hold on to that utility just to try and delay them in these late round takes. Scream, of course, just using this ult to take space for his side, but they need to get onto the site. 15 seconds left as they make their move, and Xiao is still ready and waiting, needing an instant headshot, but he's got the squad behind him. Solcast, the last man standing, but even getting to this spike is going to be difficult. He might just have it. No, I think it's too late. It's too late, and Sagetsu doesn't need to peek. He will just hold back, and it will be FPX. It took them a long, long time, Mitch, but they got it over the line.
They got there. They got there eventually. What can we say? At 13 to 8 is still a decently convincing scoreline, but Liquid really started to show that they had some sort of power behind that punch towards the end of it. Still, was it too little, too late? At the end of the day, this is FPX's map pick, and I think they still put on a decent show despite a terrible start. You know, if that first half had went a little bit differently, Tom, they had won more than just those 2 pistol rounds. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, either way, that is, as you said, just map 1 of the series. I'm sure the desk is going to need a little bit of time to break this one down, so we're going to throw it off to the break.